Hey beautiful people, how are you? Thank you for coming to the chill spot. Now I'm really excited that you're here today. So if you are new here to the podcast, I am doing a visual episode where I'm also recording on YouTube. If you are like, why the hell are you holding that phone in your hand, Jennifer, as you're watching my YouTube video? It's because I am giving you the audio only on my podcast. So check out the show notes, the description box for additional information. This is like a cross promotion, trying something new. So again, if you're watching the visual, just kind of disregard the phone in my hand. It's my mic for now. This is my temporary setup. But without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm really excited to talk to you about this topic today. I asked on my YouTube channel, what's the topic that you would most want to hear about next? And a majority of you wanted to know about a few ways that I curb my anxiety and my depression. And of course, I'm going to talk to you about that. I have been reeling and really excited to talk to you about things beyond just like hair and beauty and those kinds of things. So let's jump right in. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, of course, I'm not a medical or health professional. I'm just a woman that suffers from anxiety and depression myself. So I am speaking from my personal experiences. This is not medical advice. I do recommend that you at least seek out the help of a professional, whether it's a life coach, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, someone that can help you, a counselor, someone that can help you if you're having these feelings, if you're having these thoughts. Of course, this is the perfect time for me to give that trigger warning. We are discussing depression today. I'm not really getting too much into my journey. I really want to keep it positive and talk about a few things that I do to kind of curb that. Notice I said curb. In my opinion, again, I'm just a woman. I'm not a professional. I'm just a woman who experiences these things. But in my personal opinion, depression is a mental illness that can't necessarily be cured. I do think that there's ways to kind of manage this illness. And I do think that there's ways to kind of suppress it and just have a happier, healthier lifestyle. Of course, there's ups, there's downs, there's highs, there's lows. But just by making a few little changes here and there, I've been able to curb it for the most part. I still have my moments, I'm human, but I've been able to curb it. It does kind of lay dormant in the background sometimes, in my opinion. And then if there's like a trigger or a trauma or if something happens, it'll kick back up. I do suffer from seasonal depression as well, so yay me. But yeah, just making these few changes have really helped me, and I am honored to share them with you. And maybe things that you're already doing, maybe it's things that you haven't considered just yet, but let's jump into it. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, as cliche as it sounds, you are what you eat. And I hate when people tell me that, and I hate when people are like, oh, how are you eating? Are you eating healthy? I hate to break it to you, but they're right. They're like, I've done the work, I've tested it out, and when I eat crap, I do feel like crap. And I'm like so disgusted to admit that, but honestly, when you eat better, when you make better decisions, your body is going to feel better. You're fueling yourself with something nutritious, good energy, good vibes. And honestly, when you eat better, it kind of gives you a little bit of confidence, like, okay, my body is a temple and I'm putting the right things into my body and I'm feeling good, you know? It's like a machine, it's working better. So that's the first thing that I've tried to do. Of course, I'm human. I fall victim to snacking is my weakness. Like, I will not eat a full meal in a day and just like snack, eat things here and there. And I feel it because my body is working with the crumbs that I'm giving it. And it's not only is it crumbs that I'm giving it, but it's like empty calories. It's not even something that's nutritious or healthy. So I do feel a difference when I'm eating things like my omegas. Like I'm really big on salmon. In our family, we're really big on salmon. We eat salmon probably once a week. Well, not once a week, but we buy salmon once a week. You know, we have leftovers, but we're really big on that. Hello. We're really big on our omegas. I really have to get better at my greens. There's a period of time where I was juicing, which is, I love the art of juicing. I like the juice too, it's delicious and it makes me feel good because, you know, it's something that I'm making from scratch. I'm fueling my body with the proper nutrients and it tastes great, but I really love the art of juicing. I don't like cooking anything else, but there's something about chopping up fruits and vegetables and then just putting it in the juicer and then just like watch it make this beautiful concoction. And then you're like stocking, you know, you have your mason jars and you're making the juice and you're like, I feel good, I juice today. There's just something about it. So I really need to get back into that. I have been making smoothies for years. Like, I used to call myself the smoothie queen because I really know, and I'm not just like tooting my own horn. Like, I have an eye. It's not really an eye, but I just know what fruits and vegetables pair well together. So I think that I make really good blends, and I try to just stuff my greens in there. I'm not gonna eat spinach or kale by itself. If I do, it has to be like smothered in something. And that's not the best way to eat it, obviously. But when I make my smoothies, I definitely like just shove my greens in that way because you don't really taste it. Same thing with avocado. I think I'm one of the only people on the planet that doesn't like avocado. I don't like avocado toast. Just thinking about it. Yeah, no, it's not my thing. But when I make smoothies, or sometimes when I make my mixes, I put avocado in there because it's just an easy way for me to cheat and get like my servings of fruits and vegetables. But I really, if you are struggling and if you're just like feeling like blah, try making some changes to your diet. Try making dietary changes. Try just moving your body a little more, because it's true what they say. When you eat better, when you feel better, when you take better care of yourself, you do feel better. And what I was gonna say is I really need to get back into eating my greens and making salads. I used to like eating salads. I don't know when the switch happened. Somewhere, excuse me, somewhere along the lines, I switched from like greens to carbs, and that's like one of the worst decisions that I could have made for myself. So I really need to get back into making my salads, you know, my fresh leafy greens, and just making fun salads and things like that, because I think that that would really help with me eating better as well. But do as I say, not as I do. So when you eat healthier, you are going to naturally feel better. And just think about the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients that you're giving your body that you may have been lacking, which could have led to you not feeling so great. So again, it's cliche, but try making that small change and see if that helps you. I'm sick as a dog, by the way. Can I pet that dog? I'm sick as a dog. That's a TikTok reference. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just forget that I said that. Okay, so that's actually a really good segue into my next. If there were to be one thing that I would stress, well, I guess eating healthy is like the most important thing. But the next one that I'm about to give you, game changer for me. Because when I tell you this gets me up out of bed every day, finding a hobby or an outlet. So important. And it wasn't until I made this small change that like my mental health, like things just kind of went for me. Like, I have good days and bad days. Again, I'm a human, but my good days are farly outweighing my bad days now. And I know it's because I now have a hobby. I have something that I enjoy doing. I have something to look forward to. Outside of taking care of people, I love being a mom, but my kids are whiny and they're very needy. And now I'm getting a lot of attitude at 8 and 10. Believe that, right? I'm getting a lot of attitude. So outside of taking care of my family, being a wife and being a mother, the one thing that really gets me up out of bed is my hobby. My hobby right now is taking care of my plants and gardening, believe it or not. So I was recently, if you are new, well, not if you're new, I haven't recorded a podcast episode in 3 years, which is crazy. So I haven't informed my audience just yet that I was recently diagnosed with a autoimmune illness called multiple sclerosis. One of the big MS triggers is heat. So it's very ironic that I now have a hobby where I'm outside, but I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, because it really does make me happy, but I said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm going to commit to 6 to 9 a.m. or 6 to 9 p.m. So I'm outside when it's not too hot, because Florida, it does heat up pretty quickly, but at least during those hours, it's not as extreme. I stay hydrated. I make sure that I, you know, cover my head and cover my face as much as I can. I try to have like a fan or stay in the shade. So I'm being responsible and I'm being smart about it. But guys, I never thought that I would be more excited about like a Lowe's or Home Depot or nursery sale more than I am about like a Sephora sale. And I don't know, I guess I'm in my auntie era, I'm in my granny era. I never appreciated and understood Jodi's mom, you know, from Baby Boy. I've never appreciated her and her garden so much. And no, I haven't created like an actual fruit or vegetable garden yet, just because where I live, I have a wildlife preserve directly behind my house, and we don't have anything to keep deer out of our yard yet. I'll actually show you if you're looking at this on my YouTube. Obviously, I can't show you on the podcast, so I'm sorry. But I'm gonna show a picture of some flowers that I had in the front of my house, and the deer that ate my beautiful flowers. So now that's actually, that was my show notes slamming to the floor, by the way. But now, as much as like I'm annoyed by these little nuances and everything, it is actually fun because now I get to research, like ways to kind of keep deer or wildlife out of your garden or out of your yard, you know. And it just kind of, one thing leads to another. First it was like wasp repellent, and then I was like, wait a minute, but wasp and bees are pollinators, and we need those to keep the bad insects away if you're thinking of growing fruits and vegetables. And companion gardening, like planting certain plants with herbs and flowers to kind of keep rodents and pests away from your fruits and vegetables. It's also weird, but it's also exciting for me, and that's how I know that I finally found something that really makes my heart happy. And I'm telling you this because with having a hobby, it gets me up out of bed every day. I went from, you know, packing my kids breakfast and lunch, telling them goodbye because my husband takes them to school. I went from just kind of laying in bed and scrolling on my phone every morning once they leave, or just kind of laying there and overthinking and being with my thoughts, to being up with them, you know, as they're walking out to the car to go water plants, and researching like things to put in my garden next. I'm looking up ways to build barriers or cost of fences, to put up a fence to keep the deer out, or just where to start with fruits and vegetables. Right now it's mostly just the plants in my home, and then landscaping around my house. I'll throw up some videos of projects that I've been working on as far as landscaping. But guys, I'm really vested, I'm really excited, and it really keeps me distracted to where I'm not just withering away and overthinking and boiling inside, or just kind of rotting. Does that make sense? So when you have an outlet, when you have a hobby, that's going to keep you busy enough to where you're not spiraling. Hopefully, that's the thought. Because again, we are human. Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's working out, doing yoga, doing Pilates, hopefully your hobby is something that kind of keeps your mind busy, keeps your hands busy, gets your body moving, you know, gets some endorphins going, sweat a little bit, gets you excited. And that's the goal, just to keep you happy and to keep your spirit full. And I'm happy that I have found mine. For a while, I thought about, what is my hobby? You know, maybe I'll do yoga, or maybe I'll do Pilates, or maybe I'll, you know, go to esthetician school, and skincare became my thing for a long time. I was like watching every video from dermatologists and everything, but then I realized, like, you know what? This is something that's cool and that interests me, but it's not like, watching a skincare video is not gonna get me up out of bed. Doing my skincare routine is not going to get me up out of bed in the morning and get me excited. And this is what my hobby is now. And it's funny because plants and thrifting have always been my thing, but now I'm really vested, like intense, hardcore. It's crazy, but I love it. And I really think that once you find your thing, your passion, something that ignites you, you have your hobby, you have your outlet, your creativity, or whatever is just going to keep your mind busy and happy, that's going to help you curb your depression and your anxiety. Guys, the last thing that I want to talk to you about is going to make me feel like a hypocrite, but stay with me because I'm going to put it out there anyways. When you're not feeling your best, I want you to try something. Now this goes beyond, like, of course, rest, recuperate, relax, disconnect, do what you need to do. But if you feel like you're just getting to the point where it's like, okay, you've exhausted all of your options, your brain is spiraling. And this goes more so towards anxiety than depression. But if you're just getting to the point where you're just like overthinking, or you're anxious about something, let's say you have an interview coming up, let's say you have a really important discussion, or just something is on your mind and you just have to do something because your body is just so anxious, I want you to try to do something productive. Stay with me. I know it sounds really counterintuitive, but there is something about taking control of a feeling in a moment, right? There's something about, let's say I have a really important discussion coming up, but it's making me anxious. Like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know how the person's gonna react. I'm really nervous to talk about this topic or whatever. Your brain is going to continue to focus on that. You're gonna fester, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Your mind is gonna start spiraling. Your thoughts are gonna go all over the place. You're gonna start imagining things before they even happen. Take a minute, just vacuum. Sweep the floor. Just you taking control of that moment and saying, you know what, I'm just going to occupy my brain by doing something else while also being productive. It does two things. Again, it busies your brain, so you're not focusing on that and driving yourself crazy, but you're also doing something that you would have had to do anyways. So I listened to one of my older podcast episodes yesterday, and it's crazy because I didn't realize that I've been doing this technique for so long. This podcast episode was from 2021. I thought it was something that I just recently started trying, but I talked about it there, so apparently not. But in that episode, I was talking about how I was about to have like a breakdown. Like, I had just reached the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm really upset. I think I was just having like a mommy meltdown. I was really upset. So I just decided to jump in the shower. And what I thought was just gonna be just like me just having a nice relaxing shower, which usually does help calm me down, I said, you know what? I can sit here at the bottom of the shower and just like cry my worries away and just like sulk and be depressed. Or I can just get this little scrubber brush and start cleaning my shower. And I did that. And what's so strange is that in that moment, I took out those feelings, the aggression, not the aggression, but like the anxiety and just the worry. I took out all of those feelings and that energy, and I just cleaned that shower. And before you knew it, I was just so focused on cleaning the shower, and I was just so proud and accomplished in that moment because I had took something so like ugly and anxious and dark, and I had just turned it beautiful, literally, because I beautified my shower. And it was me just like taking control, and I felt good, and my shower was clean, that by the time I got out of the shower, I was like, wait, like I remembered what I was mad for, but I realized like it wasn't even that big of a deal. Do you know what I'm saying? So of course this is gonna work for everything. And of course I am in no way wanting to like belittle or like diminish the way that you're feeling, because when we're feeling things, they're really big. But I think the goal here is just to kind of distract your mind for a little bit, to give you time to think, was it that big of a deal? Was I overreacting, or was I just being very irrational or overly emotional? Just to give yourself a minute to just kind of sort through your thoughts while not sorting through your thoughts. Does that make sense? I really hope that makes sense. Just try it. Please just try it and let me know if it works for you. Another example was during busy season at work, right? I have a corporate 9-to-5. So during my busy season, I really get anxious because I don't know these people that I'm about to meet with. They really just join a meeting, like a Google Meet meeting with me. I don't know how these meetings are gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna be really upset and be yelling at me. I don't know if they're just not gonna be kind or pleasant. So sometimes before meetings, I just get like jitters and I get anxious. So what I do now is I'll just like clean my desk, or I'll vacuum because I work at home. I'll vacuum, I'll sweep, I'll do a load of laundry. I do something just to take my mind off of what I'm about to encounter, or the fact that I'm anxious about what's about to happen, but also just to be productive. Because the worst that could happen, in my opinion, is I feel these feelings and I just sit and I fester and I feel these feelings, right? But then once that wave kind of crashes over me and once that moment has passed, I still have to get up and do something. I still have to get up and do that laundry. I still have to vacuum and clean. And now I'm more anxious or more upset because I've wasted all of this time. So try that. and let me know if it works for you. Hopefully this was helpful. Those are the 3 main things that I've been trying to focus on just to kind of curb my feelings of depression and anxiety. Again, this is in no way a replacement of therapy or seeking professional support or consultation or help. This is in no way a replacement of taking care of yourself and really addressing traumas and triggers that you have. It's really just a way to kind of complement what you're already doing. And hopefully you are doing the work because you deserve it, and you deserve it. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know how you feel about this whole like cross collaboration thing. And if you have any tips or tricks on ways that you curb those feelings, leave them in the comments, because I'm sure it would help someone else. And I would love to see it as well. I love you guys. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I will see you or talk to you the next time we get together. Don't forget to check the description. Bye.